So you finally started making $10,000 a month on OnlyFans. So why does it feel like you're more stressed now than when you were over there making $2,000 a month? Well, this is the thing that no one really talks about in this industry. And that's the pressure, the burnout, and the fear of losing it all if you slow down even for 1 second. So if it feels like your OnlyFans growth has turned into a full-time trap, well, let's talk about some things that we can do to change that mindset. So you're not a beginner anymore, and you figured out how to get your account to generate $10,000 a month. And that's no small feat. But the stuff that got you there, well, it's not enough to take you any further, and I know deep down you know that. You're probably still doing everything yourself, right? I'm talking about the filming, editing, posting, chatting, promoting. I mean, you're answering your DMs at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah, the money's nice, but at what cost? Your screen time is through the roof and your energy is starting to tank. You're scared to take a day off because you don't want to lose that momentum. And that's the trap that most creators are falling into. They build this business that depends on them doing everything every second of the day. And let's be honest, that's not freedom. That's just a shinier version of burnout. Here's another thing that nobody tells you. Once you start making decent money, you don't just need more fans. What you need is better fans. Loyal fans, the kind who don't just sub and ghost, but they'll stay, tip, talk, and keep on spending. But if you're stuck in that hustle mode and you're chasing new followers and you're trying to be on every platform at once, well, then you never get the chance to actually slow down enough to build those deep connections and actually grow your income long-term with those fans. And yeah, you could delegate. Delegate sounds great, right? Until you realize you don't even know who to delegate to or who you can trust to do that. You don't want to give up control, right? But you also know you can't scale while doing it alone. If this sounds like where you're at, well, I want you to know you're not broken. You're just stuck in that grind phase. And what you need now is a smarter system. So here's the truth. Scaling from 10K to 50K, it isn't about working harder. It's about building a system that works without you constantly having to be online, grinding every second. This is the part where most creators start to stall out. And that's because they keep doing the same things that got them to 10K and hoping that it will carry them further, but it won't. What you need now is structure. So let me break down what we call the S3 shift. And that's smart stacking, strategic promos, and subscriber experience. So let's talk smart stacking. You can't just rely on one income stream, and that's where subscription stacking comes in handy. Tiered pricing, VIP fan clubs, close friend access, these are all things that you can utilize. Your fans are not all the same, so why would you give them all just one offer? You want the casual spenders and the high spenders to have options that fit their needs. Your baseline sub price might get them in, but what keeps the money flowing is offering more. So think $6 subs, $30 VIP lists, and $100 monthly access. You can include voice notes, customs, and anything else that feels personal to them. People will pay more when it feels exclusive. Now let's talk strategic promo. At this level, you need to be doing a lot more than just hoping your TikToks pop off and you can find following that way. This is where collabs, shoutouts, and even paid ads are going to come in handy. So you should partner with another creator who has the same vibe as your brand. You can also buy a shoutout from someone who already has the same audience. And lastly, you can start tracking which promos bring actual subs. I'm not talking views, but actual subs. Now, I don't want you to think about this as throwing money at ads, but investing in targeted attention. Now on to that subscriber experience. If your fans don't feel anything, then why would they stick around? And that's why creating a premium experience is very important. And this means creating automation on the back end of your account. I'm talking about scheduled DMs, organized PPVs, auto messages that do not sound robotic, and also front-end support like personalized replies, creative content, and teasing content without giving it all away. You want your fans to think, damn, this is the best money that I've spent all month. Now, if you put all three of these things together, well, suddenly you're not guessing anymore. You've got a well-oiled machine that is built to scale. And the best thing is that you're not doing the heavy lifting anymore. So next, let's talk about where some creators can mess this up, because even with this system, there are a few traps that will tank your growth if you're not careful. You can have the perfect strategy, right? But if you fall into one of these traps, then you're gonna start stalling out and you're gonna do it fast. First on my list is not tracking what's working for you. If you're not watching your numbers, I'm talking about your sub retention, your PPV conversions, and your daily DM sales, well then you're just guessing. And guessing isn't going to scale your account. If your messages sound copy-pasted and dry, well, they're going to ghost you. I'm not saying you need to be online 24/7, but your replies should feel personal. And this one's a really big one. Your chatting ratio, it matters more than you think. So always keep an eye on that. So if you're making $1,000 in subs, but only $1,000 in tips and PPVs, well, you're leaking thousands of dollars every month. Your chatting ratio should be at a 1 to 5 minimum. And if it's not, well, that's the first thing you're gonna wanna fix. And yeah, eventually you're gonna need a team, whether it's an assistant, help with promos, or someone just running your chats. Scaling alone only works for so long. And that's where working with someone like us at the Bunny Agency becomes less of a maybe and more like a win. Because if you're serious about hitting that $50,000 and more a month, just think, can you be doing it alone forever? You don't need to figure this out all alone. We work with creators who are ready to scale smarter and not just grind harder. So if you're at that point where you're ready for more, but with less stress, just check the link below or drop a comment and we'll reach out to you directly. So let's make this next chapter your best one yet.